Hello again. How are you? I'm Nick Hennigan, and this is How to Make a Crisis Out of a Drama, the Maverick Theatre Diaries, episode 24. Would you believe? Blimey. Um, I would. I wrote these in 1997. Money was very tight. I have to say, poverty's played a fairly large part of my life ever since. Money was very tight though back then. It was unique because we won all these awards, and I didn't know whether I would make this new play called A Ghost of a Chance happen. I also should say that I've been not reading these diaries before I've been reading them to you. Although this time I have, because I just did this recording a few hours ago. It's actually daylight outside. And then realised, because I've been messing around with a new camera, I'm using the eyesight in this computer to record this at the moment. I realised that the microphone didn't work. So I did a 20-minute recording, none of which you could hear. And as beautiful as I am, I'm thinking that 20 minutes of me not saying anything probably isn't the best use. So I do know what's coming up in this episode, so I'll trail it, like in the old days on the radio. There's a sort of a brief history of Maverick Theatre. We're also going to be talking about Shakespeare's Globe, and we're going to be talking about Mark Rylance, and we're going to be talking about literary agents. We're also going to be talking about a press reception. This was in 1997. As you know, we're in lockdown still at the moment, hence the strange hair, lots of water and grease. There's been no sort of barbers or hairdressers open for months. It's now June. It's the 11th of June 2020. I think everything kind of locked down in March. Pubs still apparently been closed more days this year than they've been open. Not that that bothers me much. So this is an unusual time. 1997 was an unusual time. And thank you very much for the kind comments that I've had through email, through WhatsApp. Also here you can, not many comments on if you're looking at this on YouTube, but you can follow us. Go on. We've got about 20 followers now, which I'm well impressed with. It was 2 when I started. And you can like the videos and all that. You know more about that stuff than I do. But I'm sharing this because I guess it's just a story, and it shows that however much things change, they stay pretty much the same. On that note, it's back to 1997. Friday the 25th of July. We've arranged a press reception for A Ghost of a Chance at the Billesley pub for Monday to officially announce Paul Henry's involvement in Ghost and launch the show to the regional press. It was John Slater's idea. I'm a bit concerned that nobody will turn up, but that doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. Live television are coming down with a camera, which would be good, and Terry Grimley, the arts editor of the Birmingham Post, has also accepted. Slater is confident of a reasonable turnout, and it seems he may be right. We have commitments from the Birmingham Evening Mail and the Metro News, so that's most of the regional bases covered. Paul Henry, of course, and Justin are coming, obviously. But John Adams is directing a play for BBC Radio 3, starring, amongst others, Damon from Blur, oddly, and Sir John Gielgud, I believe. So we'll read a prepared statement from him at the press conference. My girlfriend wants us to go to a wedding celebration in Stratford-upon-Avon in Warwickshire on Sunday. I want to go too, but it's a normal thing to do, and I feel that odd feeling of guilt. I know we'll have a good time, and the mental break will be good for me, but I still feel guilty. I feel guilty at working all the time, and yet guilty for not working. That's a lot of guilt, even for a Catholic. I call my agent today to see what's happening with Henry V Lion of England and Mark Rylance at the Globe Theatre in London. I still can't get used to saying that, my agent. Basically, we're still waiting. I gather that poor old Mark Rylance is doing a headless chicken impersonation, it being his first theatre and all. They have appointed a literary manager at the Globe, and Elspeth, my agent, is a little frustrated when she has to deal with the manager rather than Mark Rylance direct. For what seems like the first time ever in my theatre career, she mentions money. She says, I'm very keen to ensure we get the right actor for your piece. I've seen really good plays go nowhere because they don't have the right name in the part. This play is so strong it should have a very good future. It could make you a lot of money and bring you to the attention of the top producers. Blimey, make money out of writing. That would be something. We'll see. After a sellout last night, tonight's audience for Up and Under at the Billesley is a little disappointing. 47 people in. Still a good crowd when you consider our budgets and where we are, but being a Friday, they're the £6-pounders, and it's a little more quiet than the £5.50s. Pound sterling, I mean. We started to get so busy on Fridays and Saturdays, we added 50p to the tickets to encourage more people to attend in the week and on Sundays. It's worked a little too well tonight, though. I meet Mick Yates for a drink at the Billesley pub while the show is on. Mick was the drama officer at West Midlands Arts for 3 years, and although we never got any grant money out of him, because frankly he didn't have a lot at the time, we have become friends, and he certainly used to take me out for a curry if I was starving to death. He finally quit his pretty good job at West Midlands Arts to pursue his first love, writing. He's really a poet. We're now in similar financial boats, and mutual support abounds. Also at the show is James Yarker from a theatre company called Stan's Caff. Their theatrical fare is radically different to ours. They produce very physical theatre and have attracted huge amounts of funding. They have a small office at the Midlands Arts Centre, and I have a feeling we may come together sometime in the future. I love James and I love what he does. We stay late at the pub. I drink too much and consequently feel rotten today. I think I'm going to go on the wagon after this show for a week or two. It's unfortunately part of the business that I do. Boozing and talking is an important part of achieving what I want. I usually start drinking orange juice and drink orange juice for as long as I can, but inevitably someone will start in with a beer. It's a good job I'm not a spirits drinker. I think my kidneys have been shot by now. I decide again I need a hobby, but at the moment I need to produce some stuff for the press call on Monday. So this is what I've done. I've written it down. Press reception, A Ghost of a Chance by Nick Hennigan. Notes for editors. Production credits. Bob, Paul Henry, Tim Luke, Justin Luke Towler. Director, John Adams. Producer, Nick Hennigan. Assistant producer, Glenn Bays. Original music and sound design, Rob Williams. Production manager, John Slater. Have I left anyone out? I don't think so at this stage. Biog time. Nick Hennigan, writer, artistic director. Started pub theatre in Birmingham 4 years ago. A former social worker, he worked at B&B Radio and the BBC for a number of years, then produced international promotional events for a number of blue-chip companies. Writing includes Henry V Lion of England, Hamlet, Horatio's Tale with Sir Derek Jacobi, and A Ghost of a Chance, which has just won a prestigious Guinness Pub Theatre Award through the Royal National Theatre. He's produced all of Maverick's works and directed some. He's producing his first film, Andy Bloom's Whatever Gets You Through the Night, with CBC Limited, and is currently working on a West End and Broadway showing for Henry V Lion of England with his literary agent, and a national commercial tour of major venues with a former Maverick Billesley production. A Ghost of a Chance is to have its world premiere at the Billesley on the 8th of September 1997. Great sporting moment, playing wing in a secondary modern school rugby team that bears an uncanny resemblance to the Billesley Arms team in this production of Up and Under. John Slater, production / stage manager. John arrived in Birmingham as a youth and aged slowly over 15 years as a presenter on B&B Radio. The ageing process accelerated in the subsequent 4 years managing rock bands and tours in UK and Europe. In the last 12 months, Slater has stage managed various shows for Maverick at the Billesley pub and the Birmingham Old Repertory Theatre, and has been production manager of Maverick's first film, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, by Andy Bloom. This has put years on him. Great sporting moment. Skived games lessons for an entire school term. His report for games said, consistent.